Hello and welcome, everybody. My name is Corey Baumeister, as always, with the lovely people here at TCGplayer.com, bringing you all the best in trading card games when it comes to Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever. Basically, any trading card game you want to play, they got it. As always, trying to bring you the best content I can. Today, I'm going to be walking you through a personal favorite of mine in Standard. Other people are starting to shift and kind of make a move towards Grixis these days. Personally, I think the removal in Grixis is not as good as it is in blue-black. And what I mean by that is the removal is not good enough to pull me away from blue-black's consistency and basically say that their removal is better than Fatal Push. I don't think Fatal Push is the most amazing piece of removal right now, but I think with not sacrificing to add another color, I really think this is the best deck in Standard. Some disagree. My own brother at times, we've had our plenty arguments when it comes to which deck is better, but I think this is better. So I'm going to walk you through the deck list here. So, we start with the basic mana base. 3 Field of Ruins, I think, is the only thing notable about the mana base. Really nothing too different. You kind of have to play these set amounts. You can mix with the basic lands and the Field of Ruin count, but otherwise these lands are great. Aether Hub, of course, very good with Siphoner. We'll move on to the 1-drops here. So, of course, 4 Fatal Push. I think the card is good. I don't think it's the best removal in the format. But with Field of Ruins being able to, on turn 3, strip a land and be able to let you cast Fatal Push on a 3 or 4 drop, adds that extra relevance that I think is very important. So the 2-drops are a little different than some of the list, maybe the list that you've seen me and Brad play over at GP Memphis. The Chorus editions are 4 Siphoners. This is one of the best cards in the deck. When you play against a God Pharaoh's matchup, or God forbid it survives in a God matchup, it's really just a card that absolutely runs away from the pack. So we have 4 of those. Gifted Aetherborn is a card that has been getting significantly worse in my eyes. With that being said, it doesn't mean that we can just get rid of it, because we really don't have many other great 2-drops. I've seen a lot of lists that play them just in the sideboard, and I think that is okay, but you're sacrificing a lot when it comes to your Soul Time matchups, and I think that is like one of the deck that's on the rise. So you'll see in my sideboard I have a little bit more of that card to leverage that. So we got 2 of those, 1 Search for Azcanta. You never want to draw 2 of these cards, but having 1 at some situations is backbreaking for your opponent. Playing 2 Essence Scatters, pretty standard. Really need to deal with other Scarab Gods of the format, Bristling Hydras, Glory Bringers, Rekindling Phoenixes. It's just a very important, efficient way to deal with these high-powered creatures. I have 1 Censor in here, mostly because I want the instant count to be a little higher for Torrential Gearhulk. Plus, the card has just actually impressed me. Late game, of course, it's just a cycle through, and that's, not great, but the card really has been impressing me, somewhat considering playing more than 1. All right, the meat and potatoes of the deck here. Champion of Wits, gotta be 4 of. Card's too good. Got Supreme Will as a 1 of. I've always been a fan of this card in any blue deck as a 1 of. Multi-versatile card. Really great if you get to top 8 of events. 1 card that they necessarily can't play around. All right, 4 Vraska's Contempt. The card's too good. It's the best removal spell in the format by a long shot. Gotta have those. This is an interesting decision here. I have a split between 1 Gonti and 1 Ravenous Chupacabra, and actually 1 Gearhulk. So some may say, one of these cards has got to be better, right? Why play so much randomness here? It's really because of these 5 cards here. Liliana's Mastery and the Scarab God. Most of the time, you get your graveyard in such a shape where there is a lot going on by the end of the game. And having your option between, getting a value creature that might take one of their bombs, getting a Chupacabra, that, takes down one of their creatures, or a Gearhulk that can flashback a Contempt. All of these options add together to being just valuable enough to have them as one-ofs instead of 2 Gaunties or 3 Gaunties or 3 Gearhulks. You know, having that versatility to outplay your opponent, I think, is a very important thing in this format, and I value it very highly. We have one commit here. I haven't necessarily loved the card, but I think it is a necessity if you get your Scarab God stuck under a cast out or an Ixalan's Binding. It's really the card that just breaks it open. And once again, the one random card here seems random, but it once again goes into your graveyard. You can return it with Gearhulk. I treat this blue-black list as a bit of a toolbox deck, okay? Being able to have all these tools at your hands and being able to consistently play them, I think, is what makes it possible, what makes it powerful. I also have 2 Walking Ballistas. The card's just great. Very good early as just a ping Glint Sleeve Siphoner. Play it, you can block and then kill a Bullmot. Or late game, it's just pretty disgusting in some fashion. So that's the main deck here. I really think it's great. I think it, like I said, the best I can come up with right now. Let's move on to the board. So we'll start with, I got a couple Duresses. Need those for the control matchups. Another commit. The card's just great in the Scarab God mirrors. 2 Negates, 2 Bloodfast. Also great for control. Really got to have that plan against blue-black control and even the mirror. In the mirrors, it really comes down to basically a blue-black control mirror because everybody sides so much more geared towards just control and dealing with Scarab God, since that is the most powerful and resilient threat in those matches. As I was talking about earlier, I got those 2 Gifted Aetherborns to make the 3rd and the 4th. Like I said, the card it's decent against red. It's not anything special, but it is fantastic against Sultai Snake. It's also great against like green-white decks. It's good against vampires. It's really good against any deck that's trying to pressure you with creatures. I have a 1 of Sorcery Spyglass here. Really good against Mardu. You know, good against some of these ramp decks that are trying to kill you with all these lands. Yeah, I think it earned its slot. I'm not insanely happy with it, but I couldn't think of another card here I wanted in the 15 slot, and I do think it's earned its keep. Here I got 3 Doomfalls. That's a bit of a new addition. Once again for Sultai Reanimator. Also versatile against control. I think the card is just a well-rounded spell. I also think it's very good if you're playing against a deck that maybe you won or lost so fast you don't really know what they're playing. It's a good sideboard strategy when you're kind of in the dark. It's something that's just going to do everything for you. And then we got a Golden Demise to clean up the small creatures here. So that's the deck. I think it's great. Stay tuned. We're going to play some matches of Magic. All right.